Hello and welcome to English with LJ. I create content that is designed to help you improve your English and take you to the next level, regardless of what level that might be, whether it's A1, B1, or even C1. Now, in this video, we're going to learn English. We're going to do some English learning. We're going to look at advanced phrases. This is part 2 of our advanced phrases. So if you haven't seen part 1, go and watch that one as well. So this is a little bit more advanced English, but it is, so if you're not at this kind of level, don't worry, you can still learn these, but these are a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to give you a phrase, an English phrase, and then I will also give you the meaning, and I will also give an example sentence. Now, maybe you can try to create your own sentence as well. And maybe if you need a bit more time to do that, you can just press pause and press play, or you can do it at the end of the video. So let's go. To be in the doghouse. Now that means to be in trouble or facing disapproval due to one's actions or somebody's actions. So an example, after forgetting their anniversary, John found himself in the doghouse with his wife. This just means that he was in trouble with his wife because he forgot her or their anniversary. So he was in the doghouse. The doghouse is usually what we would is an old kind of word for an outdoor kennel for a dog. So you would be sent out in with the dog basically outside because you're in trouble with your wife, but you can use it in other sentences as well. It doesn't have to be obviously in that context. It just means to be in trouble. So see if you can utilize that within your own sentence. The next one is to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And the meaning is to perceive hope or the end of a challenging situation. So an example there would be, despite the difficulties, they could finally see the light at the end of the tunnel as their project neared completion. So maybe they were having difficulties in the project, but the light at the end of the tunnel, meaning that they're coming to the end of the troubles or they're overcoming the troubles and coming towards the end of the project itself. So the next one, to be a tough nut to crack. Now, this means to be a person or a problem that is difficult to understand or solve. So the example, Jane is a brilliant detective, but this case is proving to be a tough nut to crack. So it just means that it's proving that it's difficult. But you can utilize it of a person. Maybe they're not really very good at showing their emotions, and you might say they're a tough nut to crack in the way that to get any kind of emotion out of a person, but it just means to be challenging or difficult to understand or solve. A person, you can't figure them out. To cut someone some slack. Now, this means to be lenient or understanding towards someone's mistakes or shortcomings. So, after a long, tiring week, the boss decided to cut the team some slack and gave them the day off. So he understood that they had had a hard week, and so he cut them some slack by giving them the day off, some time off, some free time. To weigh one's options. Now that means to be carefully consider different choices before making a decision. So, in the example, before accepting the job offer, she spent days weighing her options and assessing the pros and cons. So, to weigh up your options is to basically balance the pros and cons and see which one outweighs the other. And maybe if the pros outweigh the cons, then you go for something. If it's the cons outweigh the pros, maybe you don't. To pull someone's leg. Now, this means to tease or joke with someone in a playful way. So you're pulling someone's leg. When he said he won the lottery, we thought he was pulling our legs until he showed us the ticket. So it they thought that he was pretending and just joking and say, "Oh, I won the lottery," but I hadn't really. We thought that he was just pulling our legs. We thought he was just joking. To be in one's element. Now, this to be in a situation or environment where one feels most comfortable and competent. So, an example, she's in her element when she's on stage performing in front of a live audience. So maybe this is something that she really thrives on, really likes to do. And so she's in her element when she's on the stage. She's comfortable, she feels competent while she's on the stage. To be a blessing in disguise, meaning something that initially appears to be negative, but actually turns out to be beneficial. An example of this, losing his job was a blessing in disguise because it led him to discover his true passion. Maybe the person lost his job, but actually decided to go and set up his own business, um, doing something that he really, really liked. So, and that business worked and took off. And so, actually, the losing the job, which was a negative thing, actually turned out to be beneficial for them. So that was a blessing in disguise. So you're getting a blessing, but you don't realize it at the time. So it's in disguise. To be out of the woods, and that means to have to overcome a difficult or dangerous situation. So, an example, after months of hard work and recovery, he's finally out of the woods and on the road to full health. Maybe somebody has had a heart attack or a stroke, and it looked like things could go really bad, but they've pulled through. They've managed to get through it, and actually, um, now they're out of the woods because they're better. So you would say the person is out of the woods. So we don't use the opposite to be in the woods uh, if you're in a difficult situation, but when you're coming out of a situation, you would say out of the woods. To be in the driver's seat. Now, this means to be in control or in a position of authority. So if you're in the driver's seat, obviously you're driving a car, you would be the one in control. So as the project manager, she's in the driver's seat and responsible for making key decisions. So she's the one that is in control and the one in the position of authority. So you are in the driver's seat. To have a heart of gold. Now, this means to describe someone who is kind, generous, and compassionate. So, despite his tough exterior, he has a heart of gold and is always willing to help those in need. This is a popular saying, just means that somebody is really good, the person, and always willing to help other people. To be a breath of fresh air. Now, that means to describe someone or something that is refreshing, positive, or different from the norm. So her optimism and enthusiasm are a breath of fresh air in the office. Maybe it's before that person arrived, it was kind of stale and just the same. But this new person has come in and she's breathed a breath of fresh air into the office. She has a lot of enthusiasm, trying to change things, do things well. And it sometimes can give other people that optimism as well. To be in the loop. Now, this means to be informed or included in a group's activities or information. So, as a manager, it's crucial to be in the loop about the latest developments in your team. So, to be in the loop, you're in the know. You're part of the knowledge. You know the information. To go against the grain. Now, this means to act or think differently from the norm. or what is expected. So her decision to pursue art instead of a traditional career path goes against the grain of her family's expectations. Maybe all of her family have gone off to become doctors, nurses, teachers, this type of career path. But this one person has decided that actually they're going to do art instead. So they're going against the grain. They're going against the tradition of what the family would have expected. To play it by ear. Now, this means to make decisions or plans as a situation develops without a fixed plan. So we don't have a set agenda for the trip. We'll just play it by ear and see where we end up. So we don't know exactly where we're going to go. Maybe we'll start off in one particular place, but we'll see how things go when we actually get there. We don't have an agenda. We're just going to see how things pan out. So we're just going to play it by ear. To be on thin ice. Now, this means to be in a risky or dangerous situation, often one step away from trouble. After missing several deadlines, he knew he was on thin ice with his boss. So he's going to be in trouble because he's missed the deadlines, and now he's on thin ice. And we often actually utilize this with he's skating on thin ice. So you're skating, but you're just on the thin ice, so it could break at any time. At the moment, you're just about okay, but it could break at any time. So we would say to be on thin ice, but often we will incorporate skating on thin ice as well. To be a wild goose chase. Now, this describes a futile or unproductive search or endeavor. So searching for his lost keys in the park turned out to be a wild goose chase. So he wasn't able to find them. He just ran about looking for the keys, but wasn't able to find them. Just to do something that is completely unproductive. To be in someone's shoes. So this is to imagine yourself or oneself in another person's situation or circumstances. Before passing judgment, try to put yourself in his shoes, and understand his perspective. So it just means really that we're going to think of something from that person's perspective. So when somebody is doing something and you might not agree with it, or you wonder why they're doing it. Well, maybe if you put yourself in their shoes, you might be able to figure out why, because you would be able to see from their point of view why they want to do something or why they're doing something. To be a game changer. Now, this means to describe something or someone that significantly alters or revolutionizes a situation or industry. So the invention of the smartphone was a game changer in the world of technology. So technology at that point was going along, and then the mobile phone came in, and wow, that was a game changer in the world of technology, and how things have then changed because of it. To be the apple of someone's eye. Now, this means to be cherished or loved above all by someone. So his granddaughter is the apple of his eye, and he adores spending time with her. So just somebody that is really affectionate towards somebody else. Somebody is cherished by somebody. So please leave your comments if you liked this video. Let me know. If you would like me to create a video that you would particular thing that you would like to learn, just let me know in the comments as well. I'm trying to create content that is useful to you, so I'd like people to let me know what kind of content they want. what kind of videos they would like me to create. Do you like the videos? Do you not like the videos? What can I do better? What can I change? Let me know. It's important when I create a video that it's going to be useful to people that are watching it. So if you let me know in the comments, I'm always willing to try and create videos for you and amend the way that I'm doing them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to be kept up to date with future videos as and when I do them. I do have a Patreon channel. If you would like to join Patreon, I have 3 different levels. There's a lot of material available on there. I'm adding to it all the time. I also have an A1 to A2 English course, which is downloadable from Amazon. It's also free on Patreon, so if that's something that you're interested in, you can get it free on Patreon, or you can download it from Amazon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on my next video.